Now here's some stuff that's not done in Dragons, and there's really a lot of role-playing games out there. You just gotta find the ones that really fit your style, and really it's all different rules really and different worlds, but just pick up one that looks interesting and just go with it, right? Battletech. This is not really a role-playing game. MechWarrior is the role-playing game of Battletech, but I don't know exactly where my MechWarrior book is. I thought it might have been in here, but I guess not. But anyways, used to play this huge, tons, lots. We built a whole city on the game board and did a lot of city battles. But yeah, the role-playing version is MechWarrior. Car Wars. Anyone remember this? This is kind of a mix. You could role-play with this, and you could actually do wargaming with it. Of course, you're seeing the rapiers and daggers. This is an old rule set for miniatures or paper and pen. Let's see, and I don't know if you guys remember this. Dessier. This is a role-playing aid for chivalry and sorcery. That's another role-playing system by Fantasy Games Unlimited. That's their version of fantasy rule set. And I don't know if you guys remember this. This is role aids. These are adventures created to go with your Dungeons and Dragons stuff. You got The Contract, The Evil Ruins, Dragons of Wood Sing, Angry Wizard, and this is 6 adventures in one with elves and stuff. Star Trek, a newer role-playing system. I have Voyager and the Next Generation somewhere. I'm not sure where I put them. You guys remember Marvel Superheroes? This was a fun game. We used to make so many characters out of these. Star Frontiers. This was TSR's space role-playing game. And we had tons of fun with that. That was fun. More Star Frontier module here. Okay, guys. Remember this? Paranoia? Now this was a hilarious game. Okay, Paranoia. It's really weird. It's sci-fi, kind of set in a world of... Oh god, how can I explain? It's hard to explain, but it's a comical role-playing system. The whole world's comical. It's ran by a huge computer system, and the computer always wants you to be happy. If you don't, you'll get roasted. It was a hilarious game. Robotech Bladium. Bladium was one of my favorite companies out there. They came out with Robotech. This is the Invid Invasion rulebook. They had rulebooks for all the series of Robotech. This is book 5, the Invid Invasion. Okay, one of my all-time favorites, I can't find the rulebook, is Shadowrun. Cyberpunkish role-playing game. If you've seen Johnny Mnemonic, that whole movie reminds me of Shadowrun. I don't even know if they stole it from the Shadowrun world, but this is one of my favorites. And these are adventure books, I believe. Yeah, Harlequin, one of my favorite adventures that we ran. Bottled Demon, another great adventure. DNA DOA. I mean, if you like Cyberpunk and stuff like that, Shadowrun is really cool. They have another game out there called, I believe, Cyberpunk. Yeah, and that's another cool gaming system too. Okay, one of the best role-playing systems out there, I think, based on one of the best authors, H.P. Lovecraft. Call of Cthulhu. This is the 4th edition. It was really great because I'm more of a horror writer than anything, and yeah, I do write stuff like screenplays and books. Nothing you guys ever heard of and stuff. It's just stuff that I do on my own time. But oh my God, H.P. Lovecraft's got to be one of the best horror writers out there. We had so much. We played this so much. One of my characters, who was an archaeologist, totally Indiana Jones ripoff, read too many things that he shouldn't and went insane, cuckoo. And I played him off as thinking he was Julius Caesar. So I got put in the loony bin, and in the next adventure they had to break me out and stuff. It was great. Call of Cthulhu by Chaosism. I don't know if the company's changed. I believe it's still out there. I've seen the book. So pick it up if you can, if you love H.P. Lovecraft stuff, if you like horror stuff. Dragon Quest, really old fantasy rules. This was made by SPI. And this was actually famous for a little while, and then I guess it just dropped off the radar. It's the award-winning fantasy role-playing game system. I don't know what makes it award-winning, but whatever. We had okay fun with it. We didn't play it that much, though. Hey, Vampire the Masquerade. Vampires. Running around, 10-year vampires. If you ever seen, is it Underworld, is it? I believe? That vampire chick or whatever? A lot of that mythos really match what's in here. It's a fun game. Okay, but, you know, I got out of the whole vampire phase. But, you know, Twilight put vampires back on the map again, whatever. But you like vampires, and, you know, Vampires the Masquerade. Fantasy Games Unlimited Gangsters. We had a lot of fun with this. This is great. This is all based on, you know, the 60s. You know, with mafia gangs and stuff like that. Now, Dungeons & Dragons now is owned by Wizard. And one of the cool things they did, which I thought was cool, and I thought it was awful, was the D20 system. They released an open gaming system, which they controlled the license to, which allowed people to write, you know, more supplements and adventures for the Dungeons & Dragons system, as well as writing their own gaming system based on the D20 system. It was a good idea. It kind of gave a jumpstart back into the RPG market, but also I didn't like, because I knew what was going to happen. Market gets flooded by amateur crap, okay, and I hate that crap. Some of the stuff that's put out I've seen is awful. Some of them are really good. Unfortunately, it made it easy for anyone to just write gaming stuff for, you know, role playing. And, you know, I'm all about sharing and stuff, but some of the stuff got awful. At first it was beneficial, and then the flooding just kind of started killing the market again. I don't know if the D20 license is still up and going. For some reason I heard rumors that it wasn't, that the license kind of petered out or something. But honestly, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to D20 stuff anymore, because most of my stuff as a GM I create through myself, so I have no need for supplements or adventure modules. Now here's some other role-playing games I hadn't mentioned because I didn't have the books here or they're in storage. Rifts by Bladium. Really awesome game. Dark fantasy type of thing. Dark Heresy, which I just recently heard about. Games Workshop, 40K, role-playing in 40K. What else can you ask for? One of the best fantasy role-playing systems out there that I think, and still is, I don't know if Games Workshop still does this, is Warhammer Fantasy. I love that gaming system. And I don't know if they still print that anymore, but that was one of the best freaking systems I ever played. Other really cool role-playing games like Champions, that's another superhero game. Marvel Superheroes, but I don't know if they still print that. Like I said, I've been out of the market for a while, so I don't know if they still have it or not. Continuum was a great time-traveling type of game. Really, really cool. GURPS, I don't know if they still print that. GURPS was a very generic system where it gave you the rule system and you could fit any genre into it. Cyberpunk as well, a cyber dark, futuristic role-playing game. It was pretty good, but we always stuck with Shadowrun. Gamma World is a very old TSR game. I know they don't print that anymore from Wizards. World of Warcraft, if you guys played WoW, there actually is a role-playing game out for it. One of the really cool worlds I really, really love, Deadlands. It was a dark futuristic sci-fi western, I guess you could put it that way. I love that game. It totally reminds me of, if you're a Stephen King fan, Dark Tower. One of the coolest things about role-playing is you could just play it anywhere. There's not much stuff to lug around other than a few books, dice, and a couple sheets of paper. You know, there's no boxes of cards you have to carry around. There's no figures or anything. I've done role-playing in Vent, which was really cool. I wrote a page where all my players would go to roll the dice, so I could get it real time to see who's rolling, you know, right or not, as well as using, you know, pictures and stuff to show them as we role-play in Vent. I bet we could role-play on Uvu using, you know, webcams and stuff, which isn't a bad idea. I wouldn't mind running a campaign with a few people. I'll start mailing some people that I know role-plays. Now, I went into one of my GM crates and I pulled a folder from one of my old groups. This is Kristen's folder, and this is for character Kazera, Dark Tides. And as a GM, I always buy folders for all my players, so they could keep everything in the folder. And Alexandra, this is funny what you said on the comments here. This is the house rules. Game number 1: Game Master, Dungeon Master, Almighty Overlord is always right. Number 2, when Game Master, Dungeon Master, Almighty Overlord is wrong, see number 1. Number 3, chainmail, even when hidden, clinks. 4, clean up the area you're at when the game ends. 5, try not to spill anything. 6, be courteous to the host and respect his house. 7, don't horseplay. I had to put that in because last time we had a game, someone ran into a wall, big ol' hole. 8, make sure you return all the books you borrowed to the rightful person. This is a time chart for my world. They need this because, you know, when I GM, I don't say 5, 6, 7 o'clock. I say, oh, well, it is dusk. Meet me at late noon. Meet me at late twilight. So they needed this to figure out, well, what the hell does that mean? After a while, they figured it out. I always sit with the players, you know, when they come in the gaming group. It's usually permanent. There's never one-shot nights type of things. I don't do that. If you want to play in my gaming group, well, then you stay for the long run, because it's a lot of character building. I always sit with a player, talk about their characters and stuff. Like we would meet up before the game even starts. Like, you know, we'll go to dinner or something, and we'll talk about it and stuff. And then we'll build the background, the bio characters and stuff like that. I'll cover all that in, you know, the Gaming Master tutorials, I guess. And one of the cool things is in this folder there's a little journal. I encourage them to write. This is back when, you know, we didn't have blogs and stuff. I encourage them to write a journal about, you know, in characters by, you know, the character. And Kristen actually used her journal and she wrote, let's see, while I did it, I left home. Father would have found me out soon if I hadn't. In any case, it seems I have found a group of somewhat trustworthy travelers. There is Abraxas, Prince of Keswick, his guard, the Blade Singer, the Dwarf, the Tempest, and the one who follows us around, but whose name I never got. We all seem to have met during some crazy man who wanted me to make a sacrifice to Randax. The party saved me, but we never did catch his name. As if that wasn't enough, we then were shipwrecked and somehow magically in the Forgotten Realms, where we lost half of our party to the vampires. And it goes on. And each player had a journal, and most of them did write in the journal. It's great to read. I usually keep the folders unless they need to take the folders home to you know, read up and work on their characters. But I really get them involved into their characters. You know, knowing the backgrounds, where they're from. Because the more they know about it, the more they get attached. And that way, when I kill them off, I could see them cringe and curl and be upset about it. Okay, if you're still not sure what role-playing is, thanks to Kane856, check out the PAX 2010 D&D Celebrity Game. That is a really well put together game. Now, if you watch this video, you see he has a whole terrain in the middle there. And that is sort of common nowadays. Sometimes I use a fold-out map and then put terrain on top of it so you can see the grid and stuff. But that one's pretty intense type of terrain stuff that he's using for the adventure. So sometimes GM use that, sometimes they don't. If you like Will Wheaton, he's one of the players in this video. If you know Wesley Crusher from Star Trek, The Next Generation, and they have a lot of fun. I mean, at least watch the first video, you'll see how it works. Watch like the first 5 because that gets into combat, because you know there's a lot of role playing and then they get into combat itself. And you can watch the whole thing, and it's about 10 parts though. But the link to the first part's up there, and it's fun. Other things is check out Bootleg's channel. I believe he's doing a show for role playing and stuff like that. I don't know if it's role playing and wargaming or whatever, but check him out. He's still working with it. I'm not sure where he's going to go with it. So that's it for this video. Post any comments if you have any. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Like if you like this video, and favorite if you love me. I'll talk to you guys later.